The Carolina Panthers are facing the Atlanta Falcons this weekend, and it should be an interesting game. Should be a fun game. It's a game that I want us to win because I don't like the Falcons. Welcome to another Threes and TDs, a show all about the Carolina Panthers. Lots to talk about. It's been a couple days since I did my last video. Lots to discuss, lots to talk about. What's been going on in Panthers country? Well, a lot of talk about Xavier Legette. Dave Canales today said that he would not be limiting Xavier Legette's reps. He believes in Xavier Legette's. He took responsibility and said that it was on him and that some of the blame and some of the responsibility is on him. That was honestly good to hear, because I feel like one of the things that happens with Canales that is the most frustrating thing is that he rarely takes responsibility. He never says, oh yeah, this is on me, or oh yeah, this is my fault. It's always about execution, and I'm kind of tired of the execution talk. So yeah. What else? Canales also discussed how he probably could have been less aggressive in that last drive. By the way, what a roller coaster of a game versus Arizona. What an absolute roller coaster of a game. That when the onside kick was recovered, I think I yelled from my couch. I was like, this can't be happening. This can't be happening. In a typical Panthers fashion, it didn't happen. We didn't come back. So I don't know. I think there were some good things about that Arizona game in the second half that I want us to capitalize on. Ted is that guy. Like, Tetairoa McMillan is that guy. And he needs to be getting 15 targets for me. That's how good he is. And the other thing that I think we're noticing is that this team misses Jalen Coker. Jalen Coker is very much missed. Jalen Coker is somebody that did really well against zone coverage, against man coverage, and there is a difference between Hunter Renfrow and Jalen Coker. And look, Hunter had 2 touchdowns, so like Hunter played well, but yeah, we miss Jalen. Jalen is definitely missed. The other point that I want to make too is our defense. This was the first game that we didn't give up like 200 yards. Like, our defense played surprisingly well. And I was really excited and happy about the fact that our defense actually had some gusto to them. Had some level of, I don't know, fight. This is probably the best game that our defense has played since, a very, very, very long time. I've been very critical of Evero. I've had lots of issues with Evero, but I think Evero, like, this wasn't on Evero. This game was not on Evero. Everybody thought that James Conner was going to go off. He didn't. He was very well contained. Kyler did have that one run, but outside of that, the stats on the yards per carry was 2.2 yards, which is incredible compared to the 5, 6, 7 yards per carry. So I don't know. I think the bad news in terms of our matchup next week or this week is that Atlanta's pass rushers are really good. James Pierce Jr. has like the most pressures of any rookie. Like, there is some, like, they're good. Jalen Walker has been playing well. Remember, everybody thought that he was going to go to the Panthers, and then Dan Morgan said nope. So and we're facing probably the best running back in football through the first 2 games. Like, he's just that good. So I know that we had a good game against Arizona. We are going to have to continue to have another good run defense game because they're going to run all over us. My concern really is not only the running back position for Atlanta, but I mean, Drake London, that first game was targeted 15 games. Like, Drake London is just a beast. And the Panthers don't know how to cover a tight end. I was reading something on Established to Run, and we have given up more points, like fantasy points, but just yards to opposing tight ends. And I know everybody's gotten burned by Kyle Pitts, but like, he is getting targeted a lot. He had 8 targets last week. The week before that, he had even more targets. So there's something to be said for Kyle Pitts. And the fact that we don't have, like, our nickel can't really cover anybody. So to me, I'm more concerned about, I mean, when you get Nick Scott and Trevin Wallace trying to cover the opposing tight end, call it a night. It's over at that point. So I don't know. I think the Atlanta game is going to be really interesting. I have no illusions of winning. I'm not. I would love to win. My heart would love for us to get a win, but my head is saying there's no way. This team is better than us. Their running back is better than us. Their defensive line is better than our offensive line. I would have never said that at the beginning of the year, but now Austin Corbett, IR, Robert Hunt in IR. I will say the good news is that Cade May, like Bryce, everybody talks about the second half of Bryce Young last year. He was making big time throws. He was carving people up. It was not Austin Corbett who was playing center. It was Cade Mays. And we already outlined last week, and I think the show on Monday too, all the issues with Austin Corbett. I mean, the man could not snap the ball to Bryce's chest for several reps every time. I mean, Bryce was having to go like this and then like hand the ball off after that. So I think, I don't know. I think there's the Cade Mays to Bryce Young connection is something that I'm going to be looking for, because if your center can't snap you the ball in a effective and appropriate way, there's like, just call it a day. Call it a freaking day. It's not going to happen. So I just think there's some concerns. There's some concerns for that offensive line. Ickey had a good game. Taylor Moton. Our tackles are fine. It's more about the interior. Even though Damian Lewis, another really, really good game. But I just think Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and once again, I would have never said that Kyle Pitts was going to be a factor, but he's, talk about opportunities, he's getting a lot of them, and he is going up against a Carolina defense that just cannot stop tight ends. Trey McBride absolutely demolished us last week. Now, Trey McBride is arguably the second best tight end next to Brock Bowers. He might be number one. And obviously Kyle Pitts is not that. But it doesn't really matter when you can't cover tight ends. So, anyways, we'll do a show on Friday. Talk more about the game. But I want us to win. It's our first home game. But there is nothing that I have seen in the first 2 games, especially from Dave Canales, that tells me, yeah, we're gonna outplay this team. They have more talent. They're better coached. I hope I'm wrong, but that's kind of where I'm at with the team. But yeah, those are my thoughts for today. If y'all have any questions, let me know. I'd love to be able to do a mailbag if I have enough questions. But yeah, we'll go from there. Thank y'all for watching, for liking, for subscribing, and I'll see y'all in the next one.